Pleased to be joined by Keith Wofford, the Republican and conservative candidate for Attorney General here in New York. Welcome to Rochester.
It's great to be here.
So let's talk a little bit about this race coming up in November now, but we're getting into what many would consider to be the home stretch. I know you've been campaigning for a while now, but here we are moving into October, toward November. What is the top of the list for you in terms of priorities, in terms of getting your message out at this point?
We have to make sure the voters know they have a choice between a candidate who is another career politician and a candidate, that's me, who is actually going to get their arms around this corruption problem we have. We have a state that has been misspending the taxpayers' money, having people convicted of big rigging, bribery, being let off in orange jumpsuits, and we just have to stop it. You know, I grew up just down the road in Buffalo, and it was a working class neighborhood, working class family, and my parents never would have dreamed of the sort of things we have going on in state government in terms of the stealing and the bid rigging and all the nonsense. Government wasn't perfect in the 70s, but it was much, much better than what we have now. And you have a decline in confidence of the business community, you have jobs and individuals moving out, and we've got to turn that around. And the first step is putting in a new Attorney General, because you have to have opportunity for people who are like me and my brother growing up, who are working class and whose families were struggling to catch a break.
What role can the Attorney General play as you consider Albany in its totality? What kind of role can a new Attorney General play in trying to address this and other concerns?
The first signal to be sent is that someone's watching what's going on. You've had a series of career politicians. They've said they're going to come in and clean it up, and 3 times in a row it hasn't happened. You know, this time voters are going to have a choice to have someone from the outside as opposed to a career politician. I mean, everybody knows the career politicians are more interested in filling their campaign coffers than they are in filling the taxpayers' pockets. And that's one thing that's going to change when I'm elected.
The Democratic candidate is Tish James. How would you distinguish your background and experience from hers?
2 things. Independence, number 1. You know, my opponent was handpicked by the governor. The governor paid for her TV ads. And, you know, when you're talking about someone who's a teammate of the governor, that's not a person who's going to go and give the kind of microscope the taxpayers need on what's going on in Albany. Everybody knows the corruption is there. The issue is who is going to do something about it. And if the voters think they're going to put another career politician in and have a different result, I think that's just crazy.
You have, obviously, roots, as you said, in Buffalo. You've built a career in New York City. In some respects, it gives you the best of both worlds in terms of a view of New York State. How do you make a connection with voters upstate who oftentimes feel disenfranchised?
What you really have to do is convey to people what I've seen, which is we've had a long-term decline because we have a government that's making a lot of the wrong decisions and not really being accountable to the people who are paying for it. You know, if we can stop taxpayers from getting ripped off and create a sense of confidence of the business community and of taxpayers, then when we put money in, it's going to go for what it's supposed to go for, we'll have fewer businesses leaving the state. We'll have more opportunity for people to put money into their real estate, into their property, and improving this area and growing the opportunities for people here upstate.
Lastly, what has to happen between now and Election Day for you to get over the top and win?
People have to come out and vote their interest in cleaning up this state. They have to not be indifferent and say, oh, it's just another politician, you know, we can never stop the corruption. People have to see the vision of what this state can be if we run our affairs the right way, and that by electing a new Attorney General, we'll put ourselves on the path to doing it. Those people have to feel it, and the people who feel it have to come out and vote.
Keith Wofford, thank you for coming in. We appreciate the time. Good luck.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Lots more with Keith and the other races as well leading up to Election Day. You'll find it on our website at the Local Election Headquarters tab when you go to rochesterfirst.com.